Okay, so you're welcome to the training this evening. My name is Madri B. You can call me Coach Madri B. So you are all welcome to JIFU if you're new here. And then if you've been around for a few days or a few weeks, you're all welcome. So today we are going to go straight into why we are here. The topic for today, our focus for today is actually looking at the best strategy for newbies and even the pros, a strategy that has high win accuracy on the JIFU scanner. And what I can tell you is that this strategy is very, is simplified. It's actually a simplified strategy that any newbie can apply and get results with. So I'm going to share my screen now as we go to the JIFU back office. So let me share my screen. Okay. I hope you can see my screen. Okay, good evening, Alberta. Okay, so you go to JIFU, already have the JIFU Live, is jifulive2.com. So we'll just go straight. My details are already stored on my browser. So before we go to the scanners, if you're new, I just want to give you a very quick, tour of the JIFU platform. This is where you'll be interacting with the scanners, where you'll be able to log in to see your educators live and join the academy and learn. So this is the JIFU dashboard area, and you can see when you come, you see your name there. And there are all these buttons actually lead you to somewhere. So when you come, your location will be shown there at the top right-hand corner. I'm currently in Nigeria, so of course it will show Africa, Lagos, so that's where you see that. And then you have different languages. JIFU platform is quite interactive. People across the world, different languages, can access the platform in their own language. How cool is that? So you have that, choose the language you're most conversant with. And then you see this small bell button, is a notification button. And, you can, if it's highlighted, maybe numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, you can always click to read what's popping up. And then we also have the live button. Now, when our educators are live, you can always know when they are live. When you click the live button, you see which educator is currently live at that moment. So right now I can't see any educator live. Now, when you come to JIFU, now JIFU is a platform where is a learning platform, is a knowledge platform, right? So you're going to learn about Forex. So there's a Forex Academy, there's a Crypto Academy, there's an e-commerce academy. You want to sell online and be successful at it. There's that. There's Social Media Academy. Social media is actually a money spinner now. You want to be successful at it. There are courses there that you can use to build your capacity. Then there's also Mindset Academy, because success is a mindset actually, and for you to be very profitable you need to have the right psychology as well. Then there's a Finance Academy. It's not just about you making money. When you make money, what do you exactly do with the money? So you have the various academies here. So if you're just starting out, you want to learn, when you come to at JIFU, you have access to everything is here for you. There's the Crypto Academy. Now in the Crypto Academy, there are courses, there are a lot of educators, and you can see even, crypto is like a very strange, mysterious area to a lot of people, but it doesn't have to be like that for you, because here is very simplified, and you can be an absolute beginner and learn, from the scratch. So you have all these educators, you can join their section. Oh, look at my guy. Oh gosh. I'm smiling like someone has a crush on someone. And I think I have a crush on him because Nick Gomez, I have a crush on him because his crypto trade ideas always end in banging profit. So I like him. Anyone that puts money in my pockets, of course, will make me smile and, all giggling. So Nick Gomez is an amazing educator. And when he trades crypto, mostly Ethereum and XRP, and his trade ideas always hits all the profit margins. And we are talking about him gathering massive pips. Last week, two trade ideas alone that he dropped actually generated 3,200 pips. And that's a whole lot of money in people's pockets. And depending on your account size, you would have made maybe like a $320, $3,200 and the likes, depending on your account size. So you can join these educators on their live session. And, sometimes they give you trade ideas that are not you might enter while you're in the session with them, and others you can keep them maybe for a few hours or a few days, and some are even long term. Maybe some cryptos that you might just buy and keep on your exchange. So you actually have all that. So look at the different time zones. You can just join any of them. Corinne is an amazing trader. So you have their scheduled sessions, and here you can come and watch videos and educate yourself. So that's for the Crypto Academy. We also have the Forex Academy, where you have different models. So if you're brand new, you don't know jack about this multi-trillion trillion dollars, US dollars market, you can learn from scratch here. And then of course we also have amazing educators. I mean, there are three ways you can actually make when you want to trade Forex. Let me just say four ways. In JIFU, now you can actually make money through the scanners, the JIFU scanners. I'm sure, if you're on this call now, it's simply because someone has told you or showed you the scanner, demonstrated it, and you join and you want to learn how to use the scanner. Now I'll get to the scanner shortly. Now you can make money through the scanners. And while you're here at JIFU, the whole idea is that you should eventually become independent and learn to use the scanners and profit from it. Now, see, let me tell you something. The Forex industry is a very wonderful place, and sometimes it can be tricky. You know how people who trade Forex very well, they like to act like they are demigods, and before you can even talk to them, you have to drop, some sacrifices, and they'll tell you, I paid this $1,000, $5,000 for courses. They are so inaccessible and all. Now, if you've actually had that experience and now you're here, you're being given tools that you can use it. You can use it without having to have 10 years experience. Use it and make some money, off the market for yourself. So we make money through the scanners. And secondly, we actually make money through getting on these live sessions. This live analysis you're seeing here, there are different educators that teach on the different scanners. You have Jay Bonham, who is a US30 sniper. You can get on his session. US30 is also called Dow Jones. And then you have Kevin Serrano. John Oliver teaches like, he's teaching his grandchild. So it's so simplified and you understand it. And then we have Manny Quinones, who has designed and developed two of the scanners that we use. They are all amazing traders, and Anastasia as well. So you can get on their sessions, they drop trade ideas there, and then you make money while you're on that live session. And then we also have the JIFU Connect app. I'll get to that at some point as well, where it's like a social platform where all of us meet together. Instead of having one big Facebook group, we have the JIFU Connect app. So students, all of us are students, student educators meet there. So they drop trade ideas, there as well. And then of course you have like the crypto part of it, where you can buy cryptocurrency and maybe hold it for the short, long, medium and long term. So that's a bit of JIFU for you. So if you understand all I've said now and it sounds it sounds exciting for you to be here. It sounded exciting. If you're here and you're still excited at the prospects that JIFU gives, please just drop a 1 in the comments section. Let me know that, you're with me. So drop 1 in the comment section. Abel, yeah, Abel seems to be the only one who came here to make something massive. All right, awesome. If you say Gungun now, he says massive, you will just say, hey, everybody just drop this more than that. All right, guys, let's go on. So that's thank you for that response. So let's go to the scanner. And here to economic news, let me quickly touch that. You have economic news where you can see what's going on. You have the G20, top 20 economies in the world. You can narrow it down. You can even narrow it down to what's happening in the entire world, what's happening in specific countries. You can check and see get a glimpse of what's going on. And then you can also see different news popping up. So sometimes you don't even have to go all out of the JIFU platform. You can get information instantly. And if you go down, you can see the cryptocurrency heat map and the stocks market heat map. So they give you like a glance, a picture of how the market is currently is. Sometimes you see, oh, it's trending red, and now it's a bit of green. When it's green like that, more of green, it means that the market is actually picking up on an upward momentum. And for the stocks market, yeah, it's more green today. And also you just get a snapshot and it tells you, okay, this is what's going on in the markets. In Forex, news actually has a way of impacting, because it's a money market. News has a way of impacting the market as well. So let's go into the scanner proper. So when you click on scanners, this is where you access the scanners. You have home, economic news, and scanners. So when you click on scanners, you are going to come here and you see an arsenal of scanners. Please, the only arsenal I know are the JIFU scanners. I don't know any other one. So you have here the golden era, this one for those who trade only gold, and then you have the trend wave scanner, you have the smart scanner, smart monics, killshot scanner, and sniper pro. They are all amazing scanners, but for tonight, for the purpose of this meeting tonight, we are going to look at the smart monics scanner. So you click on it, just like have clicked on it, and it comes, usually I notice it gives a default 15 minutes time frame, but let's start with the 5 minutes time frame. And when you come here, let's first go to the left-hand side of the scanner. Now you see the Bitcoin symbol here. When you click on that, it gives you the list of, the cryptocurrencies available on this scanner. You have BTC and Ethereum and XRP and a list of them, about 8 of them, listed on this scanner. So I'm not going to go into them. And then you see the time frame here, where you see 5 minutes. When you click on that, it's going to give you different time frames. And then the different time frames give you a different picture of what's going on in the market. So when you click on, let's say the 5 minutes, when they say 5 minutes, time frame, it simply means that the candles, these things you're seeing here that are green and red, they are actually candles, and it gives you a picture of what's going on in the market. So each candle has a duration of 5 minutes. So when they say on 5 minutes time frame, you come and then you select the 5 minutes time frame. If it's, let's say, a 1 hour time frame, it simply means that any single candle you see there is actually representing activities that happened in the market for a duration of 1 hour. So all these lines you're seeing, red and blue, are actually 1 hour activities each, that took place in the market. So let's go back to the 5 minutes. And then you can change the time zone. Here you see the universal UTC, Universal Coordinated Time and all, but then my location, African Lagos, is on UTC +1. So you see it there and you select, so that when you want to check what time something occurred, it actually corresponds to your time zone. It's easier for you to understand it that way. So that's for the symbol B that shows you all the cryptocurrency. And then next to it, you have the E, euro sign, actually shows you all the Forex pairs. All the Forex pairs, there are quite a number of them, all the Forex pairs, and it gives you so many options, you know, of what's trading in the market. And then when you go to the other one that looks like chart, I know, you see these are indices, you know, US 30, that's Dow Jones, NASDAQ, XPX 500, you know, and then the other, you know, indices. So if you trade indices, this is where you find it. And then the last one there are like oils and metals. You know, this is where you have gold. If you trade gold, this is where you have also crude oil, US oil. So this is where you find them. Yeah. So I need you, let's go back to the currency. And let me select AUD CAD, for instance. So now in this on this scanner now, this scanner has two sections. This interface has two sections, and this is where I need you to pay keen attention to, you know, because it forms part of the strategy that we use in taking trades on smart monies. Now, this first, you have the upper part of this interface here, and the upper part is where the candles are. Okay, let me look for a pair that has entries on it. Let me look. Oh, let me see. Does this one have? Let me look for a pair that has, so that we don't have to move to and fro. Fantastic. Yeah. Okay. So now, very, very fantastic. So now these are, pay attention, you know, market is not running. So there are two interfaces here, the upper part and then the lower part. Both of them are very important. Now, Smart Monix is a scanner that allows you, combines, you know, the very simplified strategies. I don't want to mention any technical names, you know, so, but let's just take what we see now. Now, in Smart Monix, on this upper zone that you're seeing, you take trades from zone to zone. Now, if you're buying or selling, the blue zones are zones where you buy a trade from, the blue zones that you're seeing. And then the red zones that you're seeing on top, you see these red zones. If you want to sell, if they tell you sell or bearish, this is where you sell. You sell from this red zone and then you buy from the blue zone. Please, if you understand this one, drop a 2 in the comment section. This is very important because this is where your money is. If you understand that when you come to this scanner, you buy from the blue zone and you sell from the red zone, please drop a 2 in the chat box. Okay. Or see, if you don't understand, please just say you don't understand. You're the reason why we are having this meeting tonight, so that we can find a way to make it simpler. All right, cool. I like that we are following. So you sell from the red zone and then you buy from the blue zone. So there are elements. So that's that. And then there are elements that you need to look out for when you're taking trades. In fact, there are actually, you know, like four key, what did my coach call it that time? You know, like there are rules for entry, rules for engagements, you know, using his military time, rules for engagements. Now, this trade, the first thing you need to look out for, right, is when you have a black or yellow candle at either the red zone or the blue zone. Now, this red zone, you can write it down. This red zone is called supply zone. And then the blue zone is called demand zone. So if you want to sell, if you want to take an entry, once you find out, do you have a black candle? And good for us, we actually have a yellow candle. This trade is for a sell. How do you know this trade is for a sell? Now, when your entry is actually above your profits, you know, then that trade is actually for a sell. When your entry is below your profits, you know that it's for a buy. How do you know your profits? These things in green, 1 to 2 RR, 1 to 4 RR, 1 to 6 RR, they are profit zones, and I'll get to that, you know, shortly. Now, once you see, these are confirmations. 4 solid confirmations you have to watch out for when you're taking trades on smart monies. Like, first of all, you see that there must be, first of all, the trade has to be called. It has to be called, meaning that smart monies has given you an entry. You see that the first one, the first pairs that we're looking at, we didn't see these lines and this entry. So it has called this trade now. So what do you look for? Is there a black candle or a yellow candle? This one, we can see it clearly. There is a yellow candle. So confirmation number 1. And then the yellow candle, is it at the demand or supply zone? Because we are selling this trade, it is actually at the supply zone, is at the red zone. So it's confirmation that we can sell, you know, this trade. And then secondly, is the candle must be touching either the demand or supply zone. Is this candle touching the demand or supply zone? Is the candles touching the demand or supply zone? Yes, the candle is actually touching the demand, the supply zone. Here you can see that it has touched that area. So that's like a second confirmation. Now, the black, you know, the black or yellow candle, right? It must actually align. I told you that there are 2 areas in this chart here. Now, the first area is where you have, you know, the entry, your stop loss, your take profits. I'm going to look at, analyze that. But let's look at the zone below. Let's look at the zone below. It says that now the black or yellow candle must align with the charts here. So if you're selling, let's come to the zone below. This zone below also has, or this area below also has a red zone, and it also has a blue zone. So when you look at it, where that yellow or black candle is, let me look for a line. Where that yellow or black candle is, where is my vertical line? Where that yellow or black candle is, it corresponds to the candle in this lower zone. This lower zone, I don't want to call it by the technical terms and all, but it corresponds to this chart below. And it corresponds to the candle here, and then that candle below here, under that yellow candle, is touching the red zone. It's touching the red zone. So, and it's actually in the same, it has to be in the same direction as your trade. So this one is actually going down. This one is actually going down. So it's actually giving you a confirmation so that this trade is going for a sell. And then that's the third thing. And then you go to another, a higher time frame, the 15 minutes time frame. And then when you go to the 15 minutes time frame, you want to confirm. You want to confirm on the 15 minutes time frame, you know, whether this scenario is applicable. You want to confirm on this 15 minutes time frame whether this scenario is applicable. Now, on the 15 minutes time frame, we did not see any entry. We did not see any entry. On 5 minutes, we have an entry. On 15 minutes, we didn't see any entry for the confirmation and all. So I can say, I can tell myself, because what are you going to confirm? Where is the, on 15 minutes now, we're on the 15 minutes chart. So where is the yellow candle? Where is the black candle? Where is it under this zone? So there is actually nothing, you know, to confirm here. So I can just look at it and say, no, this trade is actually not ready yet. Because why do you need all these biases? Now, I have a background as I'm a pharmacist and I work in public health. I'm a public health professional. Now, there is something we call, we all know your popular malaria medicines, you know, like a Aquatem. Aquatem is an innovator brand, meaning that someone sat together and put the formula for that brand and then sold it. Now, there are other people that have started manufacturing that coarten with the same ingredients that are inside coarten. Now, how are they able to do that? They follow the exact formula. They follow the exact formula. So if it's 4 ingredients, it's 4 ingredients. And then before they accept this other, they call it generic brand. Before they accept that generic brand, they have to undergo what is called a bioequivalence test, meaning that it has the same therapeutic equivalence as this innovator brand. That is when they can certify it and say that, yes, if you use it, it will cure the same species of malaria. That is what actually makes a strategy. So if in your strategy, 3 things, you have, we have 4 aspects of the strategy, 4 rules, and 3 of them, you have 3 of them. Please, is your strategy complete? Yes or no? Please put it in the chat box. If out of 4 items, in your strategy, you only have 3, is the strategy complete or not? It's not complete, right? It's not complete. Okay. Okay, no, it's not complete. Fine. So let's go over the strategy again. Someone said they don't understand. So first of all, let's start. Let's take it afresh. Let's take it afresh. First of all, there are 4 rules before you take an entry. There are 4 rules that you have to follow before you take an entry. Now you've come here and you checked. You want to enter a trade and you're new, right? First of all, before you even enter a trade, your scanner, you've already chosen your scanner, Smartmonix. Smartmonix has to call the trade idea for you. What you have here is a trade idea. Let me see. Oshikoya, I hope you're following. I hope you're paying attention because I'm explaining it again because of you. Now, the first thing you have to note is that Smartmonix has to call the trade idea. Has Smartmonix called the trade idea? Yes. What is the trade idea? It is telling you to sell AUD JPY. See the currency pair here, AUD JPY. That's Australian dollar against Japanese yen. It's telling you to sell it. How do you know that, it's selling? Now, when you see a setup like this, where this red invalid, that's invalidation, is on the top, and then entry, you have your entry, and then your profits, your profit levels are below your entry. That is a sell trade. These green lines, they are below your entry. That's a sell trade. Now, let me see if we have a buy trade, so that you see the difference. Let me quickly see if we have a buy trade. Not yet. I'm looking for a buy trade. Why is everything selling? Okay, I'll just random check if I see a buy trade. Euro USD. Let me see Euro USD. Maybe it's gonna buy. Okay, everything is selling. Good gracious. Okay, so it's fine if you don't see a buy trade. The market is actually we are towards the close of market at this point, so I'm not really surprised. If we don't see a buy trade. Everything here, what we've seen so far is selling, selling, selling. Okay, let me quickly go to the cryptocurrency part so that I can make this example, because I think I saw crypto is buying. It's also selling. Oh, okay. Let me see. Oh, good. Okay, this is Ethereum. This is what we are going to go back to our trade. This is Ethereum. I just wanted to show us a buy trade idea. Now, in a buy trade idea, you can see that the entry is in a blue zone because you're buying. I told you, you buy from a blue zone and then you sell from a red zone. So this trade idea is in a buy zone, and you can see that the entry, if you place your cursor here, the entry is around 1585, you know, and entry fill is there. The entry is inside, you know, the blue zone, and you can see there's a black candle here. There's a black candle here, and this black candle is actually confirming this trade. In fact, one of our educators, Nick Gomez, had actually given a trade idea for even this zone. So very, very comfortable with it. So it's a buy trade, and you can see that the invalidation or stop loss on your MT5, your MetaTrader 5, is actually shows as stop loss. The invalidation is always in red on Smart Monies, and then these are your profit levels. Now, let me explain this profit level, right? Now, you see 1 to 2 RR. RR means risk to reward. 1 to 4 RR, 1 to 6 RR. Now, risk to reward, this is what this number interprets as. Let's say you put you know, $10 in this trade, and $10 is actually the what you stand to lose if this trade hits the stop loss. You stand to lose $10, right? But when this trade goes in the direction is expected and it hits this first entry here, 1 to 2 RR, it means that you have made double of what you would have lost. That $10, you've made $20 now. And then please don't write on my screen, Maureen Okoli. Please don't write on my screen. And then if your trade, if it hits the second profit level, that's 1 to 4 RR, that means you're making 4 times of what you would have lost. That is $40 on that trade idea if it hits that profit level. And then if it hits this one here, the 1 to 6 RR, you're making 6 times of what you would have lost. A single trade. That's why they say here that, look, out of 10 trades, you know, I heard an educator say that even if you win out of 10 trades, if you lose 6 and win 4, you're still he said you're still very profitable, because one trade that hits 1 to 6 RR can actually cover up, you know, maybe 2, even 4 or 5 losses that you've had. That's how good this system is. You know, so I need you to take note of that. And then another thing, when you're taking your profits, this trade management, now we'll still go back to our trade idea. When you're taking your profits, right, it is always good. Like now, I like this one. I like this trade idea because always take profits where at the point where you don't have any of those zones. Like this one now that is for a buy. The next red zone is actually at the 1 to 6 RR. So there are higher chances that this your trade idea will hit 1 to 6 RR, and then you go. So I've shown you the buy. Let's quickly go back to our AUD JPY. And then I show you something. Please, people writing on my screen, please stop writing, doing the annotation, please. It's making the screen untidy. Yeah, so like now, okay, this is the AUD JPY, right? Our trade idea. Now, in this trade, for instance, if your trade, you know, you can set your profits, you know, to this zone, your 1 to 2 RR. You know, set your, because now look at, there are different blocks here. They are like road blocks. All these blue zone, the demand zone, and all. They are a trade. This market can come here, hit TP1, and it starts reversing. So when you see a setup like this, and maybe you can just set your profit target, let it hit the 1 to 2 RR, and then it can go. So let's go over. I wanted to show us the buy and then the sell, but let us go over our our idea again. Let us go over our strategy. Let me see if I can type the strategy for us. It's a very simple strategy. So the first thing, you say when we come here, what is the first thing that we look for? Let me reduce this screen. If you want to reduce the screen, you can use the come and hover here, and then you use the zoom out, zoom in. Yeah, so the first thing that you look out for here is your black candle or yellow candle. Now, already they must have called out the trade idea, and then you have to look out. There must be a black or yellow candle, and I've shown you the black and yellow candle in the two different trade ideas. Black and yellow candle around the demand or supply zone. Around the demand is, let me put it there, demand zone. Afolabi, please don't write on my screen. Please, can you just keep your hands off your screen? Demand is the blue zone, and then supply is the red, red zone. So that is the first thing you have to look out for, the rules of engagement. This is what, let me call it this. Rules of taking trades on smart monies. Please, you can also note it in your, if you have a book and all, because sometimes if we move from this screen now, it might just disappear. So please take note of it. So that's the first thing. And in this trade idea here, we already found our first confirmation, the yellow candle as our first confirmation. Now, the candles, the second confirmation that you need is that the candles must be touching the blue or red zone. So the candle must be touching the blue or red zone. And now, this trade, it has come, this is where the price is. It has come, to this zone already. So what we'll do is that you can actually wait and then allow this trade to actually pull back, to entry, because it can do something like this. It can hit this zone, hit where it is, and then pull back up and then come back. So you can set like a limit entry, sell limits. There's a video for that. We'll share it. If I can touch it before we end this class, we'll do that. This is a training class, so we'll just have to cover as much as we can. So you set your limit entry, and then when it comes back there, it can actually take your entry, and then it starts going down. So that is the second parameter. Now, the third parameter, right, that it has to go through is that now this the black or yellow candle, before they'll think we are doing one ritual thing here, is money making ritual. The black or yellow candle must align with the RSI zone below. Let me just call that zone RSI so that we know we differentiate it. The black or yellow candle must align with the RSI zone below, so it must align with the RSI zone below, either on the blue zone for a buy. I need to see. Either on the blue zone for a buy, or the red zone for a sell. Okay. Or the red zone for a sell. Here, this is. Sorry. Okay. Okay, and then, yeah, so where is the RSI zone? I told us before, the RSI zone is this other part of the chart below. That's other half of this whole interface. So this is the RSI zone. And let's look at the yellow candle again, and let's see if it aligns. Let's see if it aligns with the direction of the candle in the RSI box. Look at, this is the RSI zone or box or area, and this is the yellow candle. Now, look at the yellow candle, is in the red zone above. And then the candle here in the RSI zone is in the red zone. So once you see this, it's actually your third confirmation that this trade is actually aligned for a sell. Please, if this is clear up to this point, I just need to see your why. Yes, yes, yes. It is not difficult, screen. You can watch the video again. This is just 4 easy steps. People are asking me to check trades. 4 easy steps. See, do you understand it up to this point? 4 easy steps. I said this particular step number 3, right? This particular step number 3. Step number 3, right? The black or yellow candle, that is like a confirmation that this bias is correct. This black or yellow candle above must align with the RSI. This area here, this area that I'm hovering my cursor around, is the RSI area. Just know it as the RSI area. Now, this yellow candle here must align with the direction of this candle here. Now, this candle touched the red zone above. This candle here touched the red zone above. They have aligned. They are showing that they are in the same direction. Do you understand this? Do you understand this? Okay, and that's why I've seen have used different explanation. I said zone below, RSI zone, the zone below, the bottom zone, so that everyone can be carried along. So do you understand it now, TOP? Yeah, exactly. So it aligns. So that's the third confirmation. Now, your final confirmation now is for you to go to your 15 minutes. Your fourth confirmation now is that you go to 15 minutes. Let me type it out first. You go to 15 minutes and then you confirm the scenario. You go to 15 minutes and you confirm, the scenario, whether the yellow candle sits in the same zone. So you just go to 15 minutes and check whether this black or yellow candle on the 15 minutes is sitting in that same zone. So let's say we've seen the third parameter, and then we go to our 15 minutes, and you go to 15 minutes, you don't see, what you're looking out for confirmations. You're looking out for confirmations. And now we go on 15 minutes, we don't even see, any entries. This trade was not called and all. So what exactly are you looking for here? There is nothing here to confirm. And if you want to have the accuracy rate of these scanners, you look at it and say one thing is missing. If one thing is missing, you say, let me leave this thing. I need to see my 4 confirmations before taking the trades. So now your job, you're looking all these things here. Someone is saying, oh, this is how this is. All these things here, they have done the people that designed these scanners have had, if you look at combine their years of experience, they are having over 200 years of combined experience. If you add this one's 15 years, 20 years, because they are a team, and then they've put this thing together. This is actually, artificial intelligence, AI working for you, has done the hard work, like 99% of the work. Your own is take this scanner and then come and check. You can decide that out of all these pairs you're seeing here, you just need to, you might decide and say, okay, I'll pick 3 pairs and be watching, or I'll just come in the morning, and depending on, like all these pairs, like now corresponds to different trading time zones, for trading. Like now we are entering into the Asian session of the market. So currency pairs like Japanese yen, Australian dollars, New Zealand dollars, these are the currencies, that will be trending, because this is nice for us. We are about to go to bed, but then it's actually morning and business hours in some parts of the world, so you can actually trade. So that's why you're seeing, these movements on currency pairs like JPY. Now, during the London session, pairs like the pound sterling, GBP, USD trades, and then of course the strength of GBP is always, higher because London session is open. And then you see pairs like the Swiss franc, CHF, you see pairs like Euro USD, and also during London session. And then of course, when you come to New York session, pairs that are dominant, like the US dollar, anything paired with the US dollar or Canadian dollars, and all, they are trending, during the US session. So this can form your decision, or okay, when I come to the scanner, you want to come to the scanner, you can now, and maybe it's long, this let's say this Asian session, what I'm looking for is pairs that have JPY to them. So I can just go and check the JPY pairs and see, okay, is there anything, in this market that I can snipe off? So that's exactly, what you do, and you trade smartly and look out for, oh, I've left. Oof, I was trying not to leave that interface. All that stuff that we typed out has actually wiped off. I was trying to be so conscious of that, not to move. Yeah, so the 4 parameters, please, you can get this video and watch them again. So the 4 parameters: 1, when you come, the trade idea must have been called out. This is like my 4th time of repeating this. The trade idea must have been called out by Smart Monies. So AED JPY, a trade idea was given to us by Smart Monies, and then you start looking out for confirmations. Once you've seen that a trade idea has been called like this, your job is to start looking for confirmations. And we are not saying 10 confirmations, 4 confirmations. You check whether there's a black or yellow candle in either the supply red zone or the demand zone, blue zone. That's your first confirmation. And then you check that the candles must be touching. Okay, please, let me just type it again. Someone, if I want to move out, someone should just tell me that, please just stay in this place, you know. So there must be a black or yellow candle at the demand blue, demand zone, or supply red zone. That's first confirmation. I'm typing it again so that it can be in one place and you can just screenshot it. And then second one is that the candles must be touching the demand or supply zone. That's the second confirmation. Now, the third confirmation is that the black or yellow candle, must align with the RSI zone area below the main chart. Yeah, must align with the RSI zone, and it should also be in the same direction as your trade. Either red zone for a sell or blue zone for a buy. And then the fourth one is that you go to 15 minutes, time frame and confirm the scenario. Go to 15 minutes time frame and confirm the scenario. Please, someone should just please just screenshot this so that if I make any movements out of this box, it will still, at least you still have it. So I don't like typos. Yeah, please please screenshots. Let me also like do a print screen. Yeah. All right, cool. So those are the 4 steps. See, those are 4 steps. And let me just answer some questions in the chat box. Okay, before I answer some questions in the chat box, it's just that if I move now, this thing will wipe off. I want to show us something, right? Let me look for a trade idea. Now, if you come here, I've already explained that, but then sometimes there are trades that you just see, maybe some of the mistakes that people make. I'm leaving this screen now, so this thing is going to wipe off, and I hope we've screenshot already. Let me just show us some mistakes that people make. That you say, I took smart monies, I didn't make money. Let me show some of the mistakes that people make. Now, if a trade, I told you that in smart monies, we trade from zone to zone. You now come and say, okay, there is something in this thing, this candle is coming to the blue zone. What price is it at? They said that it moves from zone to zone. Let me take it. If smart monies did not call any entry, please don't take any entry. And then sometimes you can actually see that maybe there's an entry here, and then the market is actually suspended in between two zones, and then you're wondering, and it's probably even touching maybe the first TP, and you're wondering, should I still enter this trade or not? Please don't enter the trade. What we've shown you tonight is actually simple and very practical. If this trade has left the entry, like this one has left the entry, I won't take this trade. I won't take this trade because it has actually made, some small movements down. So I won't take the trade. I'd rather wait for it. If it's going to come back and pick me, it's to come back and pick me. And then, because see, you have multiple opportunities. I tell you, by the time you scan through all these pairs here, there is no way you will not find something, for you to trade on. So it's very important. And I think at this point, I'll just take questions so that if there's something you need clarity on, we can have a bit of clarity. And then another thing, right? If you take, let's practice taking calculating our lot size. Let's assume that we want to take this AUD-JPY. There's a website, called we'll share the link. We'll share the link in the group. It's already been shared. It's in one of the pinned posts. So when you click on that link, you come to calculate your lot size, right? So you pick the instrument. They ask you for instruments. You pick the instrument AUD JPY. You pick the instrument, and then they now ask you for the open price. So you come here, that's open price, your entry price. So you come here on JIFU, what's the entry price? 91,038, 91.038. And then what's your stop loss price? Your stop loss is 91.161. And I also want to say something. Okay, let me finish this one. And then how much are you risking? How much are you risking? You're risking 1,000. Let's say your account balance is $1,000. You're risking this thing. You're risking 3% of your account. If you're risking 5%, you know how you calculate it and all. So by the time you calculate, it's going to show you the right lot size that you're going to use for this trade. And it shows you how much you're risking. So it means that for this trade, you're risking, $30. And this is the correct lot size for you to put in your MT5. So it simply means that this $30 you're risking now, this trade idea, when this trade idea hits TP1, you're making $60 back. If it hits TP4, that's $30 times 4, you're making $120. If it hits TP6, 30 times 6, that's $180 on a single trade. And one of the things with the Smart Money Scanner, I want to look at, go back and see some trade ideas. Smart Money Scanner's trade always hits this 1 to 6 RR in 95% of the instances. Don't take my word for it. You got like this trade now, you can just note it down and monitor it between today and probably close of business hours tomorrow. Just monitor this AUD-JPY and see whether it will hit, that profit. It hits, all the profit margin. So it means that if you follow the simple steps, you can be profitable. And then someone said, Diamond Queen, mentioned something and said, are you sure my head can carry all these plenty trading things? Seems it is difficult. My dear, I don't like stress, right? I don't like stress. I've been trading this market for quite a number of years. Let me just say, like about 3-4 years, or let me just say 3-4 years. And this is actually like the simplest I've had it. If you're just starting out your journey into this space, and you're meeting the JIFU scanners, the work has been done for you, and then you're paying how much to join again? $265 to join this platform. People are paying $5,000 to join the platform, and then they'll give you something that is so complex that at the end of the day you don't make anything. And I remember what I wanted to say. Now, in smart monies, the stop loss is very minimal. The stop loss is less than, it's usually, maybe like 20-25 pips. Let's just see. Let's just see this one. This one is even like 16 pips. This one is from the entries to stop loss. It's just like 16 pips. Now, someone told me this afternoon, I was chatting with her, and she said that she's tried that sometimes they give trade ideas, and then in another place, not JIFU, and they give stop loss of 100 pips. I shouted, huh? I'm like, 100 pips. So that means that, if every 10 pips is $10, that means that you're risking $100. And I said, to make how much? I said 100 pips, and then you're making $40 as your, no, that is not, you have to be selective in this market. That is not, the kind of trade you take here. So even if you see a trade idea and you see that maybe the pips, the stop loss in pips is actually more than maybe 30, 40, $30, 30 pips, and you have a small account, it's telling you, no, you can't take that trade. Even if you have a big account, taking a trade that has 100 pips in stop loss, when you're not having millions in your account, no, that's not a good trade to take. So you have to be very selective. And the scanner actually makes you very selective. It allows you to be selective. So Queen, what I want you to do is that you take this video. I'm sure that the mentor or coach is going to share it in various groups. So you take the link to this video, take a notebook and a paper, a jotter, and then you write down, as you're saying it, when you write it down, you go to the chart. They say this point one, yellow or green or black candle. You go on your chart, log into JIFU and check, where do I find the green, the yellow or black candle? You identify it. You're proud of yourself. Clap for yourself. You've identified something. And then the second parameter, you do it like that. If you have to watch this 5 times, watch it. Why this is very simple. I've been trying to do a data analysis course. Do you know when I started that course? This is April. I started that course in November. They told me it's a 6-month program. For the past 6 months, I've been studying data analysis, within the context of healthcare. And sometimes I'll just study and then I'll go and sleep. But this one, that I know that it's going to put money on my table. I mean, this is easy peasy compared to the hard, complex things I'm learning. And you can also start by maximizing your JIFU Academy app. Let me see if I can log in with my phone and it won't interfere, because the JIFU app is actually on my phone. And in addition, while you're learning here, you can actually be getting the trade ideas, on JIFU app. And it's really amazing the amount of opportunities that we are having here. So I'm going to join on my phone, and then how do you get the JIFU app? You're going to download it. There is an onboarding call.
Progress.
Okay, 1 minute. So, okay, yeah, I have disconnected my. How do you get the JIFU app? What do you mean